Wasn't it bizarre when you realised Jake was the good one? Hello, people of the world, this is Jason is Lost. That's my intro and I'm sticking to it, but it sounds a little bit out of place when you've got to talk about something a little bit serious. So you already know the story. I'm not here to be offended on behalf of the Japanese people. You've already had plenty of people, Japanese or otherwise, make really valid comments on the issue, on the significance of Aokigahara. And you can only imagine the Japanese people's response to seeing someone like this foreigner come into their country and behave like that. And we're also not going to go through the video point by point. You've already seen it. And if you're a sane person, you're quite rightly offended and disgusted by what's in it, the inexcusable actions of someone who may very well be psychotic or just completely removed from reality, or maybe just believes they can get away with anything and just wants to push the envelope. And I don't even think it's a terrible thing to make a video about Aokigahara. Any idiot can turn up with a camera and do their thing. That idiot was almost me. I was discussing with a friend about going there to make a video about the notorious reputation that the forest has and investigate. But around the time, by then, I decided that any content that I make, any video for here and stuff, would have to be either interesting or educational or at least entertaining. And do feel free to debate in the comments whether I've managed any of those in my YouTube career, that's fair. And ultimately, I was in no position to be a knowledgeable voice investigating Aokigahara and talking about it, and wouldn't have been able to do the subject justice, and it probably would have just ended up looking exploitative. Now, I'm just a small-time YouTuber, but I'm incredibly proud of what I've created here in just over a year, of this audience that I've built from the ground up. People are comfortable asking me for advice, asking me questions. I've got advertising jobs off the back of this channel. I've also successfully been taken seriously by companies that have used my footage illegally. I put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into what I create, and yet it pales in comparison to these huge YouTubers that have so much success, have so much influence, and really so much responsibility for what they create. And it's really hard to imagine that Logan Paul didn't think, as he put it. He wasn't thinking. He didn't think at any point during the creation, uploading and putting out there of this video. He decided to travel there and make a fun video with no intention of being educational or informative or know anything about the subject. And you saw what happened there. They just left the cameras rolling. He's surrounded by friends that join him in his joking around. He or someone else spent hours editing all that footage into a video and then putting together the perfect thumbnail. And don't for a moment think that all of this isn't meticulously done. This is how they make their money. This is their job. And there were so many opportunities there for someone, just one person, to think, maybe this doesn't need to be shown. Maybe we don't need to upload this. Maybe we just skip this one. We made a mistake. But they didn't. And that shows the absolute level of their arrogance, that they believed that this absolutely had to be shown. So I'd pretty much written off Jake and Logan Paul at Christmas. I'm sure you've all seen the H3 podcast. This merch bonanza. These guys, they're already rich and successful. They've already made their millions of dollars. They've already got this huge audience. And they could do anything they wanted. They could invest in making films or music careers or anything they wanted. And yet they're just so content with squandering their time and effort on making these music videos. They're pretty much just adverts to sell their merch to their impressionable fans, these impressionable kids. And you can kind of understand because, you know, they're transgressive. They're breaking all the rules. And I'm from the Jackass generation. We used to watch Jackass all the time. But this is something else entirely, and so transparently taking advantage of this impressionable fan base and trying to sell them merch. And there's been all sorts of tweets and comments from this fan base of his, and they're all as toxic and delusional as each other, and it just goes to show just how much influence this guy has. My main concern is the absolute lack of action from YouTube themselves, bar removing the original video, when this guy so obviously, so flagrantly disobeys YouTube's own rules, seemingly aware that he can and will get away with doing anything he wants without retribution. And don't tell me that nobody at YouTube watches his stuff as soon as it's uploaded. That would be really, really half-assed of them if they didn't do that, considering the amount of money that they make him. And the problem is that YouTube has no intention of appealing to the mass, the majority of sensible creators, people like me and millions of others that follow the rules. And yet it's our videos that are demonetized or buried in the search results when they interfere with the ideals of YouTube. Or the world's public, who are quite rightly offended when they see what people can seemingly upload and face no consequence for. Instead, they remain invested in whoever's making them the most money. And the sad thing is that I wouldn't expect them to do anything less. At the end of the day, they're a company, they're a business. Don't expect anything from a business that you're not buying something from. So here's my warning to YouTube. You don't seem interested in brand loyalty, and you don't seem interested in brand responsibility, and you don't seem interested in embracing your responsible creators and weeding out the ones that disobey your rules and embarrass you. And as soon as there's some new site, some new platform with a better deal, a better offer, and a stronger backbone, that isn't putting profit ahead of principles, people are going to jump ship because you haven't invested in keeping people here. That's as far as I got. Thank you very much for watching. Do let me know what you think below. If this is the first of my videos you're watching, do check out the other stuff. It's mostly about Japan. It's not really this dramatic. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.